welcome to the front split stretch with me. Before you start, make sure you've done a full warm-up and your muscles are nice and warm. Also, that you've got a soft surface or a yoga mat. This is an intermediate stretch video, so for those who are very nearly or flat in splits.
Let's go.
Okay, inhale and raise the arms up and take it over to the right hand side, really lengthening that left oblique. We're going to take it back up and hinge forward, up and over into a nice flat back stretch. Perfect. And over that right leg now. Really feeling a nice deep stretch in that right hamstring. Take it to centre. You should feel it in both hamstrings now. And we're going to take the arms forwards and really push back into that stretch. Keep breathing. And over to the left leg now. Again, feeling a nice stretch in that left hamstring. Back up to a flat back. Really lengthen that spine. And up and over, feeling it in that right oblique. Excellent. We're going to bring it back up to centre and contract and open out. Perfect. Let's start with the right leg. We're going to take it into a nice side lunge, making sure your heel is not off the floor at all. Really feeling a nice stretch, opening the hips out. Flex and point that foot. Perfect. Switching over into a nice lunge. Make sure that your knee is directly above your ankle for good form. Holding it here and really trying to extend out that back leg as straight as possible. We're going to take the right arm up into the air. Keep breathing. And now relaxing the left elbow down onto the floor. Using each breath to inhale and exhale and go deeper. From here, back into a lunge, and to increase our strength, we're going to go into a little static lunge sequence. So up into a lunge, arms out to the side. We're going to take it up to parallel. Now hinging forwards into a nice diagonal line. That's it. And back up to parallel. Nearly there. Taking the arms out to the side. We've got this, nearly there. And relax down into that lunge, pulling back to 2 straight legs. Well done, everyone. Make sure your hips are nice and square in this position. We're going to take a rise on the back foot and a flex of the front foot and just alternate between the two in your own time. Holding it here. Now take your right arm and place it in between your legs. You should feel an increased stretch here. If you don't, just adjust your hips until you do. Perfect. And now lifting that back foot onto the front of the toes and holding it here. Excellent. Taking it down into a hip flexor stretch. Again, making sure the knee is in line with the ankle. Think about pushing your hips down and your chest keeping nice and high. Pulling that back leg up with the opposite arm. And releasing it down back into that hip flexor stretch. From here, we're going to push the hips back, make sure that they stay square, and relaxing over into a half pike position. Really breathe into that stretch. Pushing back forwards into a nice hip flexor stretch again. And we're going to repeat the half pike position. This time getting a little bit lower than before. Back into the hip flexor for the last time. And back into your half pike, but this time we're going to go all the way down till you're sat on your foot. Relax over that leg. From here, we're going to open out into a half jazz split. So your back leg is bent and your front leg is straight, and relax over. From here, we're going to create a right angle to square them hips off. Back leg still bent. We're going to reach up, over and forwards. This one might feel a little bit odd at first, I know it did for me, but don't worry, stick with it and it does get easier over time. From here we're going to drop back, so either onto the elbows, or if you're more flexible, right down onto your back with your arms stretched out to the side. And keep breathing. Bringing it back up and into a pigeon stretch. So either with your foot near your hip, or for a little bit more advanced, you can create a right angle and relax down onto your elbows. Inhale, exhale, and go deeper. Perfect. Going back into a short arm plank, up into a high arm plank, and from here we're going to push into a downward facing dog. Padding those feet as and when you wish. Stretching that left leg up into a penché. From here, bending and stretching, really using that hamstring and glute muscle 5 times. Now crunching both knees together and stretching 5 times, doing this as well. Each time, try and stretch that leg a little bit higher. And bending from the knee, increasing that stretch. Perfect. Back into downward dog. Back into that high plank position, down into the forearm, and back into the pigeon with your right leg in front of you. Perfect. From here, we're going to roll over to your right side and pull your right knee into your chest. We're going to extend the leg, keeping a nice true stretch at first, so right in front of your body, not out to the side just yet. Bending it back in. And this time, stretching it out slightly to the side, so more towards your shoulder at this point. Bend that knee in once more, and we're going to push it across our body and release any tension. We're going to repeat that one more time, so bending the knee into the chest, extending the leg into a nice true stretch. Back in, and extend this time more towards the shoulder. Good work. Back in and across the body, releasing all that tension. Excellent. Back in and rolling back the way that you came. We're going to try and go for that front split, so holding yourself and slowly sinking down into that split, trying to keep your hips as square as possible. Aim to hold the split for 10 to 15 seconds at least. If you're more advanced, you can stretch forwards and relax your body on the floor. You could lift your back leg up, or if you'd like to try and oversplit, there will be another video to follow. Excellent, well done. We're going to do it all on the other side now. Onto the left leg, here we go. So taking it into that nice left leg side lunge again, making sure that your heel is not off the floor. Really opening out them hips. Flex and point at your own pace. Switching over into a nice lunge. Once again, just making sure that knee is directly over the top of the ankle. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight as well. We're going to take that arm up into the air relax that elbow down onto the floor. Perfect. From here, back into the lunge, and we're going to try a nice lunge sequence on this leg. So, up we come, into a lunge, arms out to the side, and taking the arms parallel up next to the ears. Hinging forwards into a nice diagonal line. Back up to a parallel. Opening them arms out to the side. Nearly there now, guys, well done. And we're done. Back into a nice lunge. And coming up to 2 straight legs. Again, just making sure our hips remain nice and square. Alternating between demi-point and flexing that front foot as you wish. And holding it here. Excellent. Taking that left arm in between the legs. And feeling that deeper stretch. Adjust your hips if you need to. And taking the back foot onto the front of the toes, you should feel this different stretch up the front of your leg. Relaxing down into that hip flexor stretch once again, making sure the knee is directly on top of the ankle. We should feel as though the hips are relaxing down into the ground and chest high, pulling that back leg towards you for a nice quadricep stretch once again. Into a hip flexor stretch and taking the hips backwards, making sure they're nice and square into a half pike position. So your left leg should be stretched out in front this time. Back into your hip flexor stretch. And then into your half pike position. You can flex that front foot for a deeper stretch. Last time into that hip flexor stretch. And taking it back, this time all the way back till you're sat on your foot and relax over that leg, keeping the hips nice and square as always. Keep breathing into each stretch. From here, we're going to open out into a half jazz split. So bent back leg, front leg straight, and relax over once again. Keeping that back leg bent, bringing the hips into a square right angle position here, taking the arms up, over and relax down. Well done, guys. And we're going to take it back, so either onto the elbows or all the way down with your arms stretched out. This is a nice one to really concentrate on that breath. Bringing it back up and into that pigeon position. Again, to make it a little bit harder, you can make that front leg into a right angle and relax forwards onto your elbows, or if you're more flexible, all the way down. Keeping them elbows down, we're going to stretch the legs back into a low plank, arms up into a nice high plank position, and back into a downward dog, really pushing them shoulders back and lengthening the hamstrings. Pad your feet, left and right. We're going to take the right leg up into the air, into a penché position. And we're going to bend and straighten it 5 times, really using that glute muscle. And bend and into penché. Bend both knees into penché 5 times in total. Bending that leg and increasing the stretch as much as you can. Back into the downward dog position. Into a high plank and down into a low plank. From here, we're going to return to that pigeon stretch position. The left leg should be forward for this time. We're going to roll over and pull that left leg into our chest. From here, a nice true stretch, so keeping it really, really square, so you won't get as far as if you took it out to the side for this one. Back into a bent knee. This time taking it slightly over towards your shoulder and get as far as you can. Back into a bent knee and stretching it across, releasing any tension. Perfect. Left knee back in. We're going to repeat that again. True stretch from here. Try and get a little bit further than you did before. Relax into a bent knee. And this time, more towards your shoulder and really, really stretch as much as you can. Good work. Bringing it back into a bent knee and across the body, releasing any tension. Well done. Roll back over into a pigeon stretch position. And we're going to try and slide into our splits. So start as high as you need to and slowly slide down, keeping the hips as square as possible. If you're flat in your splits, you can try and relax your body over to one side. You could bend the back knee, or you could look at doing over splits, which I will do a separate video for. If you're not flat in your splits, keep working every single day, and I promise you will start to see the results very soon. Well done, guys. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you continue to progress every day with your splits. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.